Abraham was now an old man. The Lord continued to bless Abraham in every way, and he became a wealthy man. When Sarah, Abraham's wife, was 127 years old, she died. Abraham bought a field that had a cave and buried his wife in the cave. The name of the burial place was called Machpelah. After Sarah's death, Abraham and Isaac felt lonely. Isaac was now grown up. It was time for him to take a wife. However, Abraham was determined that Isaac should not marry a Canaanite woman. He wanted Isaac to marry someone from his old home country. He thought about his brother Nahor, who was still living in Haran and who now had many grown-up grandchildren. So he called and charged his trusted chief servant to make the long journey to Haran to find a wife for Isaac.
Abraham said, "The Lord will send his angel to guide you, so you will be able to get a wife for my son from there." The servant took 10 of his master's camels and packed them with valuable items and gifts from his master. He then set out for Aram Naharaim and eventually traveled to the town of Nahor. He stopped outside the town near a well. It was almost evening. This was the time when the women go out to the well to get water. The chief servant prayed to God,
"O Lord, God of my master Abraham, give me success today. I am now beside this spring. Soon the women of the town are coming to draw water. Let it be that when I say to one of the girls, 'Help me get a drink with your jar,' and she says, 'Drink, and I'll help you get water for your camels too,' let that be the one you have chosen for Isaac."
Soon Rebekah came out with a jar on her shoulder. She was the daughter of Bethuel and granddaughter of Nahor, Abraham's brother. Rebekah was very beautiful. The chief servant hurried to meet her. He said to her,
"Please give me a little water from your jar."
"Drink, my lord."
and she gave him a drink.
"I'll draw water for your camels too, until they have finished drinking."
Rebekah gave the servant and the camels some water, and so this confirmed to the chief servant that this was the answer to his prayer. He gave Rebekah and Bethuel's household the precious gifts Abraham had sent and told them the purpose of his journey. Bethuel's household welcomed Abraham's servant, and after listening to him, they too were convinced that this was the Lord's plan. Rebekah agreed to go with him to marry Isaac and left the next day with her maidservants. Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah. Then Rebekah became pregnant with twins. The babies struggled with each other while they were still inside her.
"Why is this happening to me?"
The Lord told her, "There are two nations in your body. Two peoples from within your body will be separated. One nation will be stronger than the other. The older son will serve the younger one." When the time came, Rebekah gave birth to twin boys. The first to come out was red. His whole body was covered with hair. So they named him Esau. After this, his brother came out with his hand holding on to Esau's heel. So they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twin boys were born. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was a quiet man, staying among the tents. Isaac, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
Abraham trusts in God to help his servant find the right woman to be the wife of his son. Abraham does not want Isaac to marry someone from the Canaan region, where most of the locals were still idol worshippers. Instead, he prefers Isaac to marry someone from amongst his relatives. The servant of Abraham proves himself to be a faithful and worthy servant. He trusts in God to help him find the right person to be Isaac's wife. Rebekah is willing to leave her home and loved ones to marry a stranger in a distant land. She might have heard about Abraham and his mighty exploits in the land of Canaan and Sodom and Gomorrah, but that does not take away the fact that she acted in faith.